All right, everyone. So we are going to get started with our yoga class today. If you'd like to take yourself down onto your mat, we will begin with our relaxation, laying in Shavasana. So go ahead and take yourself flat on your back and we will start. Remembering that as we get ourselves into position, we want to pay attention to our back, our hips, our shoulders, allowing everything just to flatten out and trying to relax through the abdomen so that we can really let the stomach and the ribs rise and fall with each breath that we take. Trying to close our eyes. Let those shoulders really relax into the floor. Notice if they're all bunched up around our ear or our chin. Just let them settle into the mat. Noticing how that feels to let go of our stress and tension. And relax our mind. If our thoughts are wandering all over the place, go ahead and just settle our thinking. Let all of those thoughts just drift past. Sometimes it's nice to imagine all of our thoughts are bubbles floating in the sky, and you're just watching these bubbles float past. We're not thinking about one of them, just watching them float on by, noticing that any thoughts that are important that we can deal with after yoga will be there and we can use that later. Instead, focusing right now on our inhale and our exhale. Reaching our arms long up overhead when you're able to. Maybe they touch the ground. Allow your back maybe to peel up off the floor as our rib cage really opens up. Nice big stretch. Feels so good to open up through the body. Nice big stretch through the ribs and shoulders. And we can slowly release those arms, tuck our tummy muscles in as we draw the knees into our chest and give ourselves a nice big hug. Feel free to rock side to side, gentle rock right to left. Noticing any tension in our hips, any knots in our backs. Now keeping a hold of the knees, giving a little squeeze, a little bit tighter. Go ahead and roll your ankles, rolling through the feet, releasing any cricks or cracks, encouraging all of that wonderful blood flow of oxygenated blood down into the feet. And we'll single out our stretch, keeping a hold of that right knee, lowering our left leg down to the floor. Oh, nice big stretch here as we open that right knee out to the side. Trying to keep our shoulders pressing into the ground. Nice slow deep breaths. Crossing the knee over towards our left shoulder. We may feel a little bit of a stretch through the outside of our right hip. Inhaling in the middle and exhale, release down. Take our time as we draw that left knee in. And when you're able to, let's draw the knee out towards your left shoulder, pressing that right leg down into the ground. And again, just paying attention to our neck and shoulders, trying to keep them soft, calm. Draw the knee over towards your right shoulder. And maybe we feel a little bit of stretch running down that hip. Very nice, coming through the middle and release down. We'll take our feet flat onto the ground, placing the knees roughly hip-width distance apart. Arms are down on the floor as we prepare for glute bridges. Make sure the shoulders are pressing into the mat, and we'll inhale, lift the hips up to the ceiling. Exhale, slowly lower down. We'll do this 3 more times. Inhale, squeeze your glutes. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, lift the hips up. Exhale, lower down, working through the back. And one more time, inhale, lifting our hips up. Exhale, release. A little abdominal control. Let's take our arms out to the side, lift our knees up 90 degrees. Squeeze those bellies. Try to tighten your rib cage, keeping the shoulders pressing into the mat. For toe taps, I want you to take your right foot, tap it on the floor, lift it up. Left foot taps down and lift it up, keeping your core still. And the breathing is inhale, right, exhale, lift, inhale, tap left, exhale, see how my rib cage stays still. Inhale, right, exhale, lift, inhale, left, exhale, one more each side. Inhale, right, exhale, lift, inhale, left. Take both legs down together. Roll over through baby and push ourselves all the way up onto hands and knees in tabletop position. We'll take our hands directly beneath our shoulders, spread the fingers, soft through the elbows. As we draw our bellies in, we have nice flat backs. Knees are placed directly beneath our hips. Taking spinal balance, we extend that right arm forward, thumb to the sky. Left leg comes back, press out through your heel and lower down. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale, trying to keep our body as flat as a table. Inhale, right. Exhale, down. Inhale, left. Exhale. This time we're going to hold the right arm, left leg out, coming into songbird. We crunch elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. We'll do this a few times. Exhale, crunch, rounding your back. Inhale, open, flattening. Exhale, round. Inhale, extend. One more. Exhale, round. Inhale, extend. Exhale, release. Inhale, left arm, right leg, hold in spinal balance, coming into songbird. Exhale, crunch, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, straight. Exhale, squeeze those abdominal muscles. Inhale, open one more time. Exhale. Inhale, long, and then release down, exhale, holding that table. Readjusting if we need to, coming into cows and calves. Inhale, open the chest, look forward. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, bellies in, round the back. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. And one more. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Pressing back into child's pose. Sink our hips nice and low as we reach our arms forward and try to bring our heads down to the ground. A little activity here as we press our hands in through the mat as if you're really trying to push away from the floor. That will help stretch through the shoulders just that much more. Instead of just relaxing into it, kind of push your hands. Now coming up through tabletop again, we'll take runner's lunge. Sweeping your right foot up between your hands, line your knee right on top of your ankle, lift up if we're able to, nice and tall. Hip bones level, shoulders level, and then reach those arms up, taking our shoulders down. Think about your zipper. And if anyone's shoulders are bothering them with hands raised, remember we can take heart center instead. Notice as we look tall, if we're able to close our eyes, the stretch is coming through that back hip. A little bit of balance through the front ankle and knee. One more big inhale. Exhale, release our arms down, take our time as we transition through tabletop into the left foot stepping forward, finding runner's lunge. Help the knee above the ankle. Take our time. If we're coming up with our hands, if the hips dropped, try to level them out so it's a parallel line running across the belly and the collar. Arms are held high, shoulders down, or heart center if we'd prefer. And just look up a little bit and see if maybe we can close our eyes as we stretch open that right hip. Belly's tight. One more big inhale. Exhale, release the hands down. Sweeping back through tabletop. I'm gonna take my socks off at this point as we come back into down dog or child's pose. So if we're coming up to down dog, we'll press our hands away, lift our hips up nice and high. Knees can be soft, especially since this is our first down dog if we chose to do it. So lifting it nice and tall here, and then let's just pedal our feet, toe to heel. Working through the arches, the fascia in the feet, that connective tissue, maybe it's stiff like jerky, and we want it to be loose like, well, hopefully you're not vegan, raw bacon if you can think of it like that. Or pliable like Play-Doh, rather than stiff like dried out leftover Play-Doh. Working through those feet. Now press those heels down. Good. From here, let's take a flow series. Inhaling forward through plank. We can take our knees to the floor as we chaturanga, slow, controlled lower. Inhale, lift up for cobra. I'm just going to take a baby this first time. Slowly lowering down and press back into down dog or child. We're going to do this 2 more times. Ready? Inhaling forward through plank. Exhale, chaturanga, controlled lower down. Inhale, lift up to cobra. Exhale, press back, down dog or child's pose. 1 more. Inhaling forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, press back. From here, I want you to look up between your hands. Take the right foot high to the sky, and then sweep it all the way up into crescent lunge. So we've got our knee stacked above our ankle. We're leaving that left leg straight if you're able to. If anyone would prefer to bring the knee to the floor, that's fine, you can do that. So as we're here, I'll ask if we can try to lift our hands up onto our knee, level off your hips, make sure that they're not twisted, they're square to the front, and then when you're able to, let's see if we can lift our arms up to the ceiling. Shoulders down, belly's tight. Now watch my back leg. See what I'm gonna do? Rock forward onto just the toes. Squeeze your leg muscle, keep that front knee above the ankle. Hold your crescent lunge, find your balance. Amazing. From here, opening up into warrior 2. I want you to turn to the long edge of your mat. Take that back foot flat on the floor, then into your front knee. Strong arms. Remember, if I were coming around the room and I pressed on your arm, would it fall or would it resist me? Lots of energy out those fingers, keeping your knee running over that front toe. From warrior 2, take that front right arm and lift nice and high up into reverse warrior. Nice big stretch here of that right side. See how we're still bending through the right knee? Inhale, lifting up, and exhale, spiral. Take your time as you control lower. Sweep back through plank, pressing back through down dog or child's pose. And we'll hold it here for a couple of breaths. Feel free to move or walk through your down dog whenever you need to. We're going to come into our crescent lunge now with the left foot. If we can all inhale, lift that left leg up, looking up between our hands as we exhale, kick forward, knee above ankle. Notice if you'd prefer to keep your back knee on the ground or if you're okay with it raised, we can lift the arms up. That's an option for us today. Level your hips and shoulders. Make sure belly button and chest face forward with your left foot, and then reach those arms high into position. Shoulders come down, belly buttons come in. Now watch that back leg again. Ready? Forward. Squeeze that leg so it's really nice and straight. Helps if our belly can be really strong. Holding our crescent lunge takes a little bit of balance and control. Open up to warrior 2. So we turn to the side. Now on this side, it seems a little bit too big for me today. So I'm just going to walk that foot in a little bit as I bend forward over that knee. Shoulders down. I'm looking over my left hand. Again, strong arms. Show me how much intention you can have. Lots of good energy here. Arms strong. That's going to help with our balance. Getting ready for reverse warrior. Take that front left hand up to the ceiling and make sure you're not leaning on that back leg. It's just very light. And we bend forward into that left knee. Really opening up through the side. Inhale, lifting up. Show me that slow, controlled lower as we exhale. Spiral down through lunge, back into plank. Press back into down dog or child's pose. Trying to get our heels closer to the ground every time. Maybe our legs a little bit straighter. Maybe our tailbone a little bit higher. And let's take another flow series. Inhaling forward through plank. Exhale, slowly lower, chaturanga, elbows brushing ribs. Inhale, lifting up into cobra, long necks, shoulders pulled down. Exhale, push back, down dog or child's. We'll do that one more time. Inhale forward, working on that control, coordination. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, lift up, cobra. Exhale, push back. Now look up between our hands. Take that right leg all the way high again, three-legged dog. Sweep forward, crescent lunge. This time we're going to come into our warrior one position. Go ahead and take that left foot completely on the floor, as wide as our hip bones. And then walk all the way up through warrior one. Lifting our arms tall, and we bend forward into the right knee. How's this feel? We want that back leg, the heel right down on the ground. So figuring out if we need to open the leg a little bit or if we're able to push that heel down. Holding warrior one. Now taking our hands behind our back, holding either an imaginary ball or interlacing them. I want us to bring our hands down and then puff our chest up, looking to the sky. Little chest expansion in warrior one. Open the front of the chest. One more big inhale. Exhale, release the hands to our hips, straightening out the leg. Happy with our stance as we find pyramid. Keep our body flat, our belly button pointing to the toe as we keep ourselves slowly in control, stopping whenever you feel a stretch. We should feel a stretch at the back of the leg that's in front. And we can take our hands wherever they need to be. Some of our hands will stay up high on our hips. If anyone has yoga blocks, that's when you can put your hands on those yoga blocks instead. And we just breathe into it. See how flat my back is? That's really helping me stretch this front leg. Trying to keep the leg straight with just a little bit of a knee bend. Now slowly softening the knee, I want us to bring our hands down on the floor, step back into plank, and press back into down dog or child's pose. Now notice how our legs are feeling right now. Mine feel very unbalanced, knowing that we have to do that other side. Let's get ready for that now with that left leg. Inhale, lift up to the sky, three-legged dog. Looking between our hands as we sweep that left foot forward through crescent lunge. Getting ready for warrior one. We place the right foot back on the floor in line with our hips, and we slowly walk up that front leg, bending through the left knee this time, finding that square posture. Arms come up as we bend forward into our left knee. See how my back heel is down onto the ground, getting a nice stretch at the calf. See if we're able to really press away from your back right foot into that left knee. Hands come down behind us, holding the imaginary ball or interlacing them, squeezing the shoulders together as we puff the chest up. Good, releasing our hands, finding our hips. If we need to adjust our feet, I think mine need to be a little closer together as we straighten our legs, preparing for pyramid. Slowly hinge at the hips, stick your tailbone back stay nice and flat, and then we can slowly release, stopping our hands wherever they need to be, keeping hips and shoulders square to that front leg. Notice what we're feeling. Behind the left knee is likely what we'll feel the most. And take our final inhale. Exhale, softening the knee, hands come down, step back into plank, and press back into down dog or child's. Feel free to stay in the stretch, whether it's child's pose or down dog, or join me in our flow series, which we'll do 2 times. Inhale forward into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, lift up to cobra. Exhale, press back, down dog or child. One more time. Inhale forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, pressing back. Now, wherever we are right now, I want us all to meet in tabletop. From tabletop, we are going to be coming into dolphin. The first step we need to do is replace our hands with our elbows. So we're going to bring our elbow right underneath our shoulder, and then I want you to interlace your fingers. Take your elbows and just roll them in. So see how I'm just kind of rolling my arms in? I'll come from the front so you can see that again. So hands are down underneath. I'm gonna interlace my fingers like I'm holding like a grapefruit or a golf ball. So I'm not squishing my hands flat, just kind of holding a ball in between my palms. And then see how my elbows, I'm gonna just roll them in. And that's going to activate my strong bicep muscles and my tricep muscles in the back. Now from here, I want you to curl your toes and lift your hips up like you're in down dog. Holding that position, I'll do it again from the side for anyone who'd like to see. So the thing is that your head is not on the floor. You can shake your head no, nod your head yes. And you're keeping your shoulders relatively stacked on top of those elbows. See how flat you can keep your backs as we really strengthen and open those shoulders. This is not an easy pose. It takes a lot of strength in those shoulders. See if we can hold this for one more inhale. Now we bring our knees to the floor, exhale down, relax our arms, coming back into child's pose. Really nice work, everybody. From here, we're going to slither forward, lowering ourselves all the way to our mat, taking our hands back behind our ribs, underneath, and then lift up for cobra. See if we can get a little taller now. Very nice. Lower down all the way onto our mat as we prepare for scorpion. Reach those arms out to the side. Taking our right hand underneath the shoulder, bend that right knee or both legs if you prefer, as we roll over the left arm. Now only roll as far as you can control. And if you're able to take both legs up, you can do so. I'm feeling like I just want my right knee up today. Coming through the middle again. Both arms come out into that T position, bringing our left hand, left knee, or both knees if you'd prefer, and roll over that right arm. Taking either just the left foot on the floor, knee up to the ceiling, or both legs. Slowly releasing onto the stomach again. Both hands come back under the shoulders or the rib cage for one final cobra stretch. See if we can get a little bit taller this time. And we can press back into child's pose. Now, while we're here, opening up through the sides, let's walk our hands over to the right edge of our mat, left hand on top, and then pull that left side of body. And then walk the hands through the middle, over to the left edge, right hand on top, and then pull down the right side. Coming through the middle, and then lifting up. Now, we're going to be taking ourselves over to the wall. We're going to be practicing a couple of handstands. And with our handstands, a wall is a very safe place that we can work from. It's there for support, and it's going to aid in our stretch of the back of our legs and through our shoulders. So we're not doing free stands. We're going to do wall-assisted handstands. Very technical. So if you're able to draw your mat over towards the wall, at least then you've got some nice padding here. And sometimes people prefer even to double up the mat, but that's up to you how you do that. So I'll leave my mat free and long today. All right, and just ensure that you know where your wall is and that you're not going to hit any pictures. The thing with where our feet are coming up on the wall today is that they're only going to come up to hip height. So a quick check would be if you measured your hip against the wall and just made sure that there was no picture touching that should be fine. Okay, are we ready? And if there's anyone who would rather not do the wall work today, feel free to use this time to sit and stretch other muscles or meditate or even just watch and see what this is all about, okay? So what I'd like you to do is watch me to start, because we're going to be starting in a tabletop position. And the first shoulder stand we're going to do today is an L stand. The letter L, like lizard. So just watching this first time through, really important rules when we're doing this for alignment purposes is you'll keep your hands directly beneath your shoulders. Feet are up against the wall. So I'm doing a perfect or a very effective tabletop position. Nice 90-degree angles. Not allowing my hands to move whatsoever, I'm now going to lift up into a down dog. Now this is a kind of funny looking down dog, right? Because my knees are bent. But then I'm going to walk my feet up the wall so that my feet are in line with my hips and then try to straighten that out. Now I'm making the letter L. Now it's a lot of work on the shoulders. My feet are only as high as my hip bones if I'm standing so that my legs can be parallel with the floor. So there's a lot of rules involved for this to be effective. See how my hands never move? So what I'm going to ask everyone to do is now try this with me. And remember, today's a learning experience. If you've never done this before, just have some fun and try it. See what we can do today. Let's start by coming into tabletop position. Hands are directly beneath shoulders. Tabletop, so your back is flat, bellies are pulled in. We need strong core muscles for this. Now your heels are touching the wall. We've got our toes right up against the wall. Now try not to let your hands move. I know a lot of you are going to try to walk your hands forward. See if you can keep your hands perfectly still. What we're going to do next, down dog. So lift those hips up. It's going to feel kind of funny. Don't let your hands move. Don't be tempted. You can do it. Keeping your hands where they are. I want you to walk your feet on the wall, only up as high as your hips, and then straighten your legs out as best you can. See if you can bring your body perpendicular to the floor, parallel to the wall, and your legs parallel to the floor. Now only hold it for a few breaths because it's a lot on the shoulders. This is really strengthening. And then slowly walk down. And when you're ready to, we take a child's pose to relax out of that. Relax your wrists, relax your shoulders. Take a couple breaths. Very nice work, everyone. So now I want you to look at me again because we're going to take our next shoulder stand. This one is going to be from dolphin. So the position that we just learned, elbows underneath our shoulders. See how I'm already with my feet up against the wall, like I'm doing table? So from table, we take our elbows under and we prep by squeezing those arms in for dolphin. And then we're going to lift up to dolphin. Dolphin makes a little bit more sense against the wall. You can feel like it's a good position. Then you're gonna walk up. So your feet can't come quite as high this time. Now again, you're trying to get your legs parallel to the floor and your head is not on the ground. See how I can move my head? So let's try that one together. Start by coming into tabletop, hands directly beneath shoulders, feet up against the wall, replacing our hands with our elbows. Interlace our fingers, holding that grapefruit, baseball, making sure there's some strong support. Just roll those elbows in. Strong bicep muscles, tricep muscles. Now lift up into dolphin. Bum is coming high, legs are coming straight. Strong through the shoulders, head does not touch the floor. Wiggle that neck. And now walk 1 foot, 2 foot up the wall, only as high as your hips. So your legs are only parallel, they're not way up high. You can still move your head. This is a lot on the shoulders, it takes a lot of strength. Belly's in tight, backs are flat. Just hold it a couple of breaths, we're just trying it. And then when you're able to, you just bend your knees, take your feet down and stretch those arms out. Oh, it's so much work on the shoulders. Great job, everybody. Couple big breaths. All right. Now we have 2 more wall exercises. The next one is going to be our wall-assisted headstand. Wall-assisted headstand, we use the wall, and some of us will get our legs straight, some of us won't. So now is a time when I need you, if you're going to have your legs straight, to make sure that there's no picture directly where your legs are going to be. You might just get your feet halfway up the wall today, that's okay. We're going to take our dolphin position again with our arms. So this time, we bring our body in tabletop facing the wall. And just watch me do it again, okay, everyone? If you could just watch first, and then you can try it after. Because there are a lot of rules that we try to follow to make this really good. So you take your tabletop, and my head is very close to the wall. See how my hands are not touching, but my head is very close to the wall. Are you all watching? Really important that we watch first, okay, everyone? Now we'll take our elbows underneath our shoulders, interlace our fingers just like dolphin was before, roll those arms in. Now keeping your hands open, you bring your head down so your forehead is not on the floor. If you put your forehead on the floor, you're never gonna get your neck straight. So you put the top of your head on the ground, and then I want you to lift up into dolphin. This time your head is on the ground, but mostly it's your elbows holding this. From here, you're going to tiptoe, 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 until you can just slowly bring 1 foot up off the floor. See how I'm balanced here? I'm completely using my abs. Okay, and then you tuck your feet in, and maybe today this is where you stay. Otherwise, you might be able to straighten both legs out and hold it here. Now, the wall is there only if you need it, but see how it's there just in case? So I want us to do that again. And we're going to do it very methodically. Taking tabletop right in front of the wall. Hands are underneath your shoulders. Taking dolphin, we bring our elbows underneath shoulders, interlace your fingers, and then just take the head down to the ground. Dolphin position with your legs straight. And now tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe. Use your belly muscles to pull one knee into the chest. See if you can bring the other knee. And then the wall's there if you need it. And maybe then you try 1 foot or 2 feet. Maybe you use the wall, maybe you don't. And just keep trying that, okay, everyone? The one thing I want us not to do is throw our legs up or jump our legs up. So I'm gonna do it again, and I'll show it from start to finish so you can follow along. Tabletop, dolphin, head is on the ground, my hands are holding the back of my head, and then I'm just tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoeing my knees in until there's no room left. I lift my feet up, I don't jump, I tuck my knees in, and then I can lift my legs straight. And from here, you can do lots of fun things, like a frog, like a tree, or even coming out into that split. Did we all get an opportunity to try that a little bit? Amazing. The best part about doing wall work, we now get to do an inversion to relax. So I want everyone So now bring your bum up against the wall. Okay, get into baby pose. Laying those arms out. All right, are you ready for the best part? Take those legs straight up. Nice and relaxed. So baby pose and legs up. If we're not using a wall today, don't worry about it. You can just take Shavasana or butterfly. The beautiful thing about using a wall and finishing with this inverted position, legs up, is that we now get some blood rushing to the head. It's draining from our feet, draining from our legs, coming into the heart, the shoulders, the face, the head, which is allowing us a little bit more clarity, a little bit more blood flow. I want us to take nice deep breaths. Notice how this feels. Maybe our heart rate was getting higher as we were holding those difficult headstands and shoulder stands. Maybe now we can breathe deeply and feel our heart rate starting to slow down. Continuing to breathe even deeper. I want you to notice if you can feel your heart beating. Focus on your belly rising with every breath in, and then every muscle relaxing on your breath out. Now, if we have our legs up against the wall, we're going to slowly just bend those knees in and roll over through baby, just onto our sides, whatever side you prefer. You can lay your head along your arm. Just take a moment, a couple big breaths. Allowing the blood just to circulate a little bit more normally now. And we'll take our time, and I want us to come up into tabletop position on your mat. We did a lot of tabletop today, a lot of shoulder work. So I want to spend just a couple of moments here working through cats and cows. Feel free to keep your eyes closed as we explore our cows and cats. One more. And then holding table, we're going to take our thread the needle. Right arm lifts up nice and high, big inhale, and exhale, thread under that left arm, laying into your right ear. You can reach that left arm overhead. Notice if we're feeling any stretch through the back, through the shoulder, the arm. Rising up into tabletop again. Take your time. Inhale, lifting that left arm nice and high. And exhale, thread all the way under. Laying into that left ear, we can reach the right arm overhead. Now just notice what we're feeling. Anything through the left arm or shoulder, through the back. Slowly working our way through tabletop and taking our last child's pose stretch. Sink those hips even lower if we're able to, really bending the knees, bringing the backs down. Feel free to continue to actively press the hands away, or maybe we're taking the hands under shoulders this time. Slowly working our way up. And we'll sit down. Just sitting down comfortably, whether it's crisscross, lotus, or half lotus. That was fantastic, everyone. We're going to stretch out through the wrists just as we come into our final stretches here. Putting the hands on the ground in front of us, trying to stretch through the fingers and bring the heels of the palms down to the ground. Soft elbows. Stretching through with all of those handstands. We may have just used some muscles that we don't typically rely on. Turn the hands over, bringing the knuckles down. Those hands flat. And then just give them a roll. Same with our neck. Let's stretch the neck out now. In headstands, there's a little bit of stabilization that was required from those necks. So let's make sure that they're feeling a little bit loose now. As we dip the right ear over, and we can press that left arm away. Really trying to release that left side of neck into the shoulder. Coming through the middle and taking the left ear. And we can push that right arm. Amazing. Coming up, go ahead and just give maybe the head a little shake, right to left, side to side, shoulders a couple rolls. Hopefully you had lots of fun today, everyone. I know I enjoyed my time. Shoulder stands, handstands, headstands are difficult, but very rewarding when we can overcome those challenges. So thank you for doing that with me. I hope you enjoyed the inverted wall and relaxing finish to our class. Thank you very much.